Coach, as you enter the season opener, what would you say is the identity of this team right now?
That's a good question, because sometimes you don't know what the identity is until you've had a chance to actually go out there and do some things, and then you start to develop an identity. But right now, in practice, we're trying to find what that is. We're experimenting with a bunch of different lineups. We're going back and forth with, what position we're putting players in. And right now, if I had to answer what is the identity of this team, I would say they work hard and they're easy to coach, and they're going to compete. And beyond that, we shoot the ball really well. We're a really good shooting team. That's it.
Now a handful of practices in, how would you say the chemistry has developed?
The chemistry is really good, really, really good. The fact that they, except for Lou, she's new. The perimeter guys are pretty much familiar with each other, because they were all together last year, some of them for a couple years, right? And Lou, her skill set, she just blends right in. So that group, it's been really good. The big guys, it's a work in progress a little bit, because you got Dorka and Aaliyah who have some experience, and then you got Ice and Ayana who have none. So that's a little bit different than the perimeter guys. But overall, as a team, I think it's really, really good.
In your experience, how long does it take to develop the type of chemistry it takes to, I guess, make it to, or to make a run in March Madness? How long does it take to get to that point where you feel comfortable with where this team is at?
Sometimes it takes years of being together. And sometimes even after years of being together, it's still not any good. Players just don't mix well, with each other, their personalities or their style of play. Sometimes it happens right away. With this particular team, I told them, I said, look, by the end of December, I'm going to have a really, really good idea how far we can go in the NCAA tournament. If I don't know by then, that's probably not a good sign. So I'm giving them rest of October, all of November, and all of December, and I kind of like the direction we're going, so let's hope we stay in that.
Skill set wise, you say strength is shooting. Is that a credit more so to the veterans on this team, or is that a combination of the veteran leadership and along with some of the newer faces on this team?
Well, the veteran, in terms of what Azzy's role is and what Caroline's role was last year, the two of them, are really good offensive players, and they shoot the ball really well. You add somebody like Lou, who's also, a really, really, really good offensive player, and she shoots the ball really well. So, you're putting together a group of guys that make shots from the perimeter. Aubrey, coming back from surgery, has the ability to make shots from the perimeter. Dorka is a good offensive player. Aaliyah is a good offensive player. Do they shoot the ball as well as our perimeter players? No, but they find other ways. Ice Brady is a really good shooter from the perimeter. Ayana, she's more of a around the basket, around the glass kind of kid. So overall, we shoot the ball really well, but particularly our perimeter players shoot the ball exceptionally well.
When you have different players bring different skill sets to the table, how challenging is it to mesh them all and bring 5 people onto the court?
They have to be compatible. So even though you might have 2 different skill sets, I have one, you have one, are they compatible with each other? And if they are, it'll happen easily. And right now, we've got a pretty good group that's compatible with each other. Like we talked about this the other day. There's not people stepping on each other's toes trying to all do the exact same thing, or I want your role and you want my role. You know, everybody's starting to settle into this is what I do, this is what I'm good at. So far it's been pretty seamless.
Dorcas said something that I found interesting when talking about motivation. She says she sees this team as sort of an underdog. That's the mentality she tries to take. That's where she draws motivation from, even though everyone else seems to see this team as a favorite. I'm curious, from a coaching standpoint, where do you pull motivation from?
You know, somebody asked me that one time. He said, what's the key to the motivation factor? And there really is only one key, and that's recruit kids who are highly motivated. And you feel like if you do that, then you don't have to do all of it with them. And I've been in situations in the past where you have to do everything. You have to bring the energy. You have to motivate them. You have to constantly drag it out of them. It's no fun. It's nowhere you want to be as a coach. Dorca's right. I think there's this sense of, you know, we were number 2 in the country, you know, South Carolina, you know, everybody says the overwhelming favorite. Paige gets hurt, and now, you know, we're not even in the conversation from what I hear as far as, you know, national championship contenders. And I think the players have a sense of urgency, and that's a motivator in itself, you know. How long does that last? I don't know. I think it still has to come. Internally, you have to be that kind of kid that's never satisfied. I can do it for a little bit, and I can give you a little bit of that, but I can't be that person for you every day.
When you recruit players who, as you say, are highly motivated, have that insatiable appetite to succeed, do you feed off of that energy as a coach?
Yeah, players sometimes don't understand that. They want a coach that motivates them. Yeah, I would too. I would want a coach that motivates me. What they don't understand is we want players that motivate us as coaches, motivate us to even want to do more than we do. And those kinds of players, they make coaching fun because you come every day and you can't wait to see what they're going to do next. And I've had some where, you know, every minute when they walked in the gym, from the first time they walk in the gym till they leave that day, they are an energy source for everybody. And when you have players like that, it makes coming to practice fun. It makes preparation fun. You just, you know, you get through things quickly. You know, you're out there. It's not a slog. You know, let's go over this again for the 15th time because you didn't get it. No, it makes coaching fun. And we've got a couple of those kids on this team. And it's been fun to coach them so far.
Are those sort of intangibles things that you could see when you're on the recruiting trail, or that's only when you bring the players onto your team that it comes to light?
For the most part, you can see it. You can see it. You hope it's real. But when it's not there, you know it's not there. When it's there, you hope it's real. You know, you see Nika play, you know this is how she's going to be. There's no ambiguity about what's Nika going to bring. That's how she is. That's her life every day. You know, you see AZ play, she's not going in the huddle and, you know, let's go. We're going to do this, and this. That's not who she is at this point. She just says, if you get me open, I'll make a 3 and we'll win the game. So that's how I'm going to do it. So, yeah, you can tell. You can tell when you're watching them who's got it. And then you try to get them to